This podcast has been sponsored by Spizy. Spizy is a well-tailored software app which can track the activity of any smartphone from any of your devices. You can track screenshots, apps downloaded, location of the user, texts, call logs, and it even has a keylogger so you can also track what they type. This can be great to install and use on your kids' phones or family members that might be handicapped and require some attention. If you are interested, check it out at spyzy.com. That's SPYZIE.com. And you can also get 30% off by using the code MENSPE30. That is MENSPE30. Click the link below to download it now.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Coffee and Karim. My name is Karim Jovian, and today I am with Robert Rivera. And this episode has been brought to you by kjovian.com. If you guys want mugs and you like coffee, then go over there and get yourself a mug or a shirt or whatever it is. You can check out our merch store at kjovian.com. Your support is much appreciated. Yes, so we have Robert Rivera from On the Cheap Tip YouTube channel. For the people who don't know and the listeners who don't know, just introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Well, I like to call myself a fitness DIY guy or a diet DIY guy because that's like really what the channel went kind of viral for, is just all the diets that I try, and people like to see me, I guess, complain. I guess that's the best way to explain it, because they'll have me trying like a diet that's I'm fasting for like a week, or I did the military diet, which was like specific diet for 3 days, and you're kind of suffering, and they like to suffer along with me. So that's basically my channel.
Well, that's cool. What was your first viral video?
My first viral video was it was actually two at one time, which is they're very two different ones. Because back in the day when we could actually say what we want to on YouTube, I was doing two segments. So I was doing comedy, which was like no holds bar, and then I was doing like tips. So the one video that went viral was the military diet video, and then the other one, which was on the comedy side, was 9 mistakes that virgins make.
So how did that do?
That did really well. I mean, it reached over, I think it's like 3 million, 4 million now, but it went skyrocketing. That's at awesome. One point. And both of those videos at the same time. So I was like, oh my God, I'm making money finally.
That is awesome. I mean, it's always good to make money on YouTube, and that feeling is great once you start doing it.
And it's also just the success of it, and put all the hard work that you put in for all those years. True. And then to finally see something like go crazy, that was like a great feeling, because it just felt like such an accomplishment.
Do you feel it's possible to do that today though on the platform?
Well, I just did it a couple months ago. No,
there you go. Go.
It comes and goes. You know, sometimes you'll have a video that really people can really relate to, and it resonates with them, and they want to share it, and they feel closer to you, so that's why they come back and they start watching you a little bit more. And then sometimes you miss, and you come out with a random video that you're taking a chance on, and it just doesn't do well. And so you just always have to get yourself back on what your audience really wants from you. Because I think at one point I was doing things that I wanted to do, and I was like, F everyone, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. You know what I mean? And it just didn't work. Like, people want to, I'm sure people like to see certain things from you, course, just like they like to see certain things from me. Yeah. So they just want to know how to lose weight, basically, from me. So I've kind of become a fitness channel.
It's what they want. You know, it's a funny thing. It's my friend the other day was telling me, like, hey, man, you're lucky because you don't have a boss, you know? Yeah. I was like, no, our fans are our bosses.
Yeah, I agree. You know? To some extent. I mean, you still
got to give them what they want.
Yeah, you're giving them, they have a big say in how your content goes online and how you go about creating content. But then also you are, you know, in a sense, your own boss too, because you're putting in all the work, and we're pretty much a team of one. You know, when you're first starting out, you're a team of one. Yeah. And if you're lucky enough to get that, you know, Lilly Singh success,
oh my God,
then you have people editing your stuff for you.
Yeah.
But until then, you have to really struggle. And I learned everything. I mean, I don't know about you, but I learned everything just by doing it. I didn't know anything about producing. I didn't know anything about footage or film. I didn't know how to edit anything. So I just threw myself into it and believed that I could do it And I was a failed actor, so that kind of helped push me in that direction. And, then here I am today. So, I mean, I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, you say failed actor, but honestly, it's like you haven't failed. Maybe that was your calling.
I was a joke, but
yeah, it's your calling, and you found it. You managed to channel that energy in a way that works for you.
Yeah.
Right. So speaking of Lilly Singh, I don't know if you heard that she has her own show now. Like, what do you think about that?
Does she have a show on TV?
Yes, she's replacing Carson Daly.
No. Well,
Yes.
where? On The Voice? No.
No, on her own.
He has his own show?
Her own.
Oh, see,
late
I'm so
night-
behind with everything pop
Well, to be
culture.
honest, nobody really watches him. I'm sorry.
He's like really, really late at night, right?
Yeah.
He's like the third shift kind of
Yes.
thing? Okay, yeah, I got it.
But it's still huge. What do you think about that? A YouTuber taking their own show. I mean, that was kind of like my dream, but it's all right.
Well, it's my dream too, so we'll have our
That's
own
why I'm
show
asking
one
you.
day. Okay. Do I think she's deserving? Yes. I've met Lilly a couple times when we were, doing conferences and stuff like that. She is so sweet and so humble, and what you see is what you get with her, and she doesn't let it go to her head, and that's the kind of people that I want to see succeed. Do I think it's going to do well? Time will tell. I mean, Grace Helbig tried to do her own show, and that, as much as I love her, I love Grace Helbig, it just didn't translate from YouTube to television. So hopefully Lilly can not kind of leave everything she's learned, keep it with her, but leave all the YouTubeisms behind and bring it a new kind of image to television. And if she could do that, she could be super successful because she's so personable.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think about it?
I mean, honestly, like Robert, you just hit it on the nose because if you guys can't tell, he could be a great host. I think you could be a great
thank
host.
you.
Like, you have that energy, you have that charisma, and you also have that thing that really pulls out the best out of people.
Well, I
right?
appreciate
that
that.
magnetic, thing that people love. So.
It's about being engaging, basically,
Yeah.
and really listening
Yeah.
and having something to contribute to the topic.
Exactly, but what you said, I definitely agree with. Like, in my opinion, like, I always wanted a TV. Like, we talked about this. Like, I've always wanted my own show too and stuff, and we're gonna get there. I
Yeah.
believe we're gonna get there
Oh, yeah.
someday. All right.
I'm gonna make my first $1 million this year. That's what I said.
There you go.
My
Positive
first
energy.
And my
let it
manager was like, "I get 10% of that, right?" And I was like, "Yes, yeah, you get 10%, but you have to bring the work in."
There you go. Well, my opinion on Lilly Singh, I think she's great. She's amazing. But she has made some decisions recently that kind of pushed her in the wrong direction of people really liking her. She was getting a little too political,
Okay.
and believe me, like from my experience, like that is you're never gonna make anybody happy. And then blaming white guys for success, like kind of like on the thing on with the Forbes, it was all top guys.
Yeah, white guys probably. Yeah.
And she made a reference about it. She talked about it, and that kind of like, made people look at her in a different light.
It rubs people the wrong way. I mean,
Yeah.
I think any race topic will rub people the wrong way.
Yeah.
And even as much truth or not truth is in what she is saying, it is hard to be very political when everyone has a different opinion.
Yeah.
I'm very much an activist, I think, in my own right. And I found whenever I brought up a political topic, I would drop subscribers like crazy, and they would just divide, and it wasn't bringing us together. And I feel like, okay, I have a stance, you have a stance, and I'm sure we have stances in different places, and we believe we're right? But I think maybe pushing that onto people who don't believe the same as you and just saying this is the way you need to talk, it's just dividing people and not bringing them together. So I personally rather bring people together, make content that brings people together than talk about politics that separate us. So I've learned, and she's gonna learn, you know what I mean? And hopefully that'll just wash over, and she'll be able to kind of see where the mistakes lie. When you're up there though, it's hard to make those mistakes because you're so in the spotlight.
That's right. And you also mentioned you got to take the YouTube out of the TV world.
Yes,
And
it
that's
doesn't
so
work
true.
on TV. It
You're
doesn't
right.
work on TV.
You're right. Yeah, and that's very, very true. Believe me, I've tried it myself. I don't know if I ever told you this. I was so close to having my own TV show.
Yeah.
But it was going to be like in Arabic because
That's your audience
yeah,
too.
so I'm Egyptian, and then this TV channel here in this, New York City, it's called ART. They wanted to give me my own show, and was a lot of like creativity conflicts, what's the word for it? Creative disagreements.
Yes.
Right?
Because someone's thinking one thing and you're thinking another thing.
Yeah.
That's
They
always...
wanted me to do the YouTube stuff, but I kept telling them that it's not going to work.
No.
It's not going to translate well. Because remember, who's watching this?
Did they want you to do like a prank show? Is that what they wanted you to do?
No, they wanted me to like review like a lot of these pranks and a lot of these kid things and stuff like that. But
so,
I mean,
sort of like they have like a million of those.
exactly. So it's like we got to take it from a different direction. This is TV. We could do like really cool, and then we didn't see eye to eye, and then it just never took off. But it kind of showed, like, it gave us an example of what it is that people can expect. And I was hosting for a little bit, and then we got to see like a lot of older people watch, so it's like you got to give them something that they're gonna relate to.
Yeah.
It's the truth,
A lot of older people watch that particular station.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see that you have to go where your audience is.
Exactly.
You can't just.
They want to attract a lot younger audience.
They wanted to do an MTV.
Yeah.
Well, there's no MTV generation anymore. I think it's millennials now, but that's
Yeah.
MTV generation's my generation. We won't talk about my age though. But yeah, I think they're trying to get millennials. That's understandable.
Yeah.
But if they're majority of people who watch that are older, you kind of have to give a balance. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. What did you want to do? Did you want to do like a late night talk show where you talk to different kinds of people?
Yes, so it was every Friday night. They had me reviewing Vines. At the time, it was really popular.
Vines.
Yeah, so I was reviewing Vines, and I'll make my comments on them, and then I'll do my own little thing there. It was cool. It was fun because a lot of my fans and viewers are watching it just for me, but it's like, I don't know. I guess it worked. I guess it did get them an audience, but at the same time, it's like I didn't feel it was going to take off. I wanted to do different things and just bigger things, but it's okay. Maybe some other time I will run in. We're still in talks. It's fine.
Look, I'm a true believer in everything happens.
And they weren't paying me, so.
Well, that's even a better reason not to do it. But I'm a true believer in everything happens in due time. If something doesn't happen for you that you were really pushing for and you're like, oh, I failed, don't think that as a failure. Think that as growth. Like, I'm moving on and I'm gonna. The universe has something a little bit better for me, and this wasn't meant to be.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you had your own TV show, how would it be?
Oh,
what would you make it?
Really?
Yeah.
I do want to actually produce one on my channel, and I think that's something that we have kind of in the works that I'm not going to talk about in detail. But I am trying to create my own kind of talk show. I want sort of like a variety show. I think you have heard this in the past where I said I wanted it to be a combination of like Chelsea Lately, Amy Schumer, and like Rachel Ray, like all those combined. So I want you to be able to, I think it'd be fun to like have people on, hear their stories, maybe weight loss stories, maybe do some fun like wacky exercises that we don't normally do, or maybe show people some kind of good diets but just all in fun. Like, I don't want it to be stuck up or stuffy. I want people to be able to say what they want. I want people to be able to curse. I want people to be themselves, I think on these shows like Rachel Ray, it's very put on the charm, you know what I mean? And ham it up. I just want people to be real and us to just have a good time with some wine maybe in hands, Hey
man, that sounds like a trip.
Yeah, sit on the couch and just like you're talking with your best buddy or your best girl or whoever, Just have a ball.
That's awesome, man, and I hope you get to that point because I would like to see it.
Well, you're going to be on it, so...
Well, I have to be the first guest.
There you go.
But yeah, that would be cool. That would be definitely cool.
Yeah.
I would definitely make it. That would be awesome. And then finally, to close it off, do you think Lilly Singh is gonna succeed, her TV show?
Like I said, I think that she will succeed as long as she is herself and true to what the show should be, which is not YouTube.
Yeah.
If it needs to be a late night talk show, it needs to be a late night talk show, and that's what I mean.
Well, there you go. If you're watching this, Lilly, we wish you the best.
I love you, though.
Yeah, I met you too. You were really sweet and nice. Thank you so much for being incredible. And we wish you the best. And hey, we'll be there to watch and support.
Yes.
So, if you guys don't know, Robert Rivera actually was on my music video parody.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Anna Masri, which stands for I'm Egyptian in English. It's Arabic. And he was actually the choreographer. and the mainline dancer. So if you guys didn't know that, you guys could check it out. I'll probably cut in the video.
The funny thing is like he was supposed to be in it and he opted not to, but that was just because of production reasons.
Yeah, production reasons. Yeah.
But I mean, I would have loved to see you actually do the choreography.
We're gonna do another one. We're gonna do another one because it was great. Everybody picked up your moves so quick. It was incredible.
I mean, they weren't really hard. I just kind of mimicked the
cool.
parody of it.
The comments were like, "That's the best part," you know.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
I mean, it's also like you have people like Prince Z, who was just hamming it up like crazy.
They were going in.
By the way, not to get off topic, but did you see his story last night?
Yes.
You were on it.
Yes, I was.
I was like, this is crazy. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, he's a crazy guy.
I did not know this about him. I mean, I knew he was a little crazy, but I didn't know he was that crazy. For those of you who don't know, Princey, I guess he's really big on Instagram,
yes,
right?
Yes, he is, yeah.
Which I didn't know, because, you meet people and you're like, hi, how are you? And, you meet them in real life. You don't really know what they do. I'm sure they don't even know what I do in real life. But I just flipped through stories and I saw him butt-ass naked on the toilet. And I was like, what kind of craziness is going? And it's like one of those things where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be watching this, but I kind of like can't help want to see what's going to happen. And he's taking like calls from all different people, just calling in.
Yeah, he did. And I actually he actually sent me a request and I accepted it. And then it was kind of awkward because I was eating.
Oh, yeah. You were like, but you were such a good sport about it.
I was trying to be cool. And then I actually went and took and went to the bathroom too. Just to kind of in solidarity
Did
with him.
he end up really doing, was that a real thing, or is just kind of like,
I don't know. I mean, with Z,
it up?
it's like, you don't know. It's like, could not be.
He's definitely a shocker. He likes the shock value because that actually made me want to go look him up a little more. And I looked him up on YouTube, and he does like crazy pranks. I guess. Did you guys work together at one point?
Yes.
You did the show. You did the same that when you did your prank and stuff, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, we went to the same high school, and then we kind of like linked up like recently.
Gotcha.
And then I started seeing that he was doing pranks, and then we started working together, making pranks together and stuff. Yeah.
What a weird world this is.
And one of our pranks actually went super viral on Facebook, not on YouTube, but on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it got like over 2 million views.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then on YouTube, obviously, you only got like 200K, struggling.
I mean, hey, did you ever think about coming out with just like a show of pranking on TV and with it? I know there's a million of them, and I know you want to get away from that, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
Like
You're right.
Even if you had like a talk show that included those little excerpts.
That's how I'm thinking of doing it. I want it to be
fun.
just based on pranks. I want it to be based personality, and then this personality can create pranks, this or that. Because if it's only the prank, then people are going to remember the prank. And
Ellen does it, and James Corden, is that his name? He does them too?
Yeah, but they're personality based. So it's like, hey, I'm Ellen, and look what Ellen is going to do.
That's what I think it would be really cool. And I think Z is kind of that cool, I don't want to say sidekick, but I mean, he could be like
we have a good chemistry.
Ed McMahon, to your Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Like, do you know who Ed McMahon is?
I know Vince McMahon.
Am I dating myself? It was like Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon was like his side person.
Yes.
How like they have
the
like
guy
someone
who's sitting on the
off,
I know
off
him.
camera, and they're like they just kind of comment here and there. Yeah.
He would always make the funny little jokes and stuff.
I think Z is good. He's really clever and quick.
Yeah.
And like when I was looking back at that video that we did, the animosity, how do you say it? Animosity.
Yeah.
I don't speak that, so don't kill me on the comments for that one. But I just saw how he really kind of just shines, like even just from the background, he kind of shines, like in that video. I feel like, you don't ever like your own work. I felt like, man, Rob, you have to step it up because he is like bringing it and you are like very monotone in the video. And I was like, wow, it's just,
I don't believe that actually. You weren't. You actually had like and everything, but everybody was giving it even Lauren, she was going in. I actually had to edit out a part because her skirt went up when she was dancing.
Oh God, get out of here.
So I had to edit that out. I was like, she was going in. She was really dedicated too. I think the whole team was great, and it
was fun.
Yeah,
it was a fun experiment to see what we could come up with, and it was just us
so
being
cool.
goofballs and hanging out all day and just having fun with it, you know.
Yeah.
And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Next video.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, I think Prince. We were just talking about it, like Tom Green's show. Like we have like a vibe. That's the vibe we get with him.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to doing something with him in that realm. like you said. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I was with him taking a dump on the story.
He's gonna love, his ego is gonna be so blown up that we are actually discussing him. He's like, he's our major news of the day when there's so many other news topics to talk about.
No, shout out to Prince Z though.
No, he's cool.
It's definitely cool because we kind of like we started seeing him grow. Like I kind of like linked up with him before he blew up. It was like around 20,000 because he hit me up and he needed some help with like branding and stuff. So
Gotcha.
We linked up and I just knew from there. I was like, this guy's gonna blow up. I just knew it because I have like this knack of thing, like being experienced in what I used to do and all the crazy pranks and public stuff.
And some people just shine. They have a big spirit, and you can feel their energy.
He's a good guy too. He's humble.
Yeah, he's really
which
cool.
is really important. So
all your friends are really cool.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah. So then after that, it took off, and we just talked about high school. We actually went back to our high school. We did like what is it called? Career day.
Oh, okay.
And
you're like, this is how to be a YouTuber.
Yeah. And the fans went crazy. They blocked up the hallways.
No
and
way.
we got banned from going back there.
No way.
I'm not even kidding. Yeah, it sucks. I was kind of sad.
So it was like
about
a VidCon situation.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but hey, whatever. I mean,
Isn't that so funny? It's like, I feel like sometimes I'm just Rob, I'm just Rob from Jersey, and that's what I am. But even just last night, I went out to dinner, and people were coming up to me and saying, "Can I take a picture with you? And are you this guy from On the Chew?" I'm like, "Really? You know who I just get so embarrassed and tickled."
Yeah.
Do you get embarrassed that it's like that
I have
happens?
anxiety, so when someone comes up to me and take a picture, I get really awkward. But I try not to say no. I never say no. To be
I would
honest.
never say no. No,
I never said no.
I mean, unless they're like something's seriously not right in that situation.
Of course,
if you feel unsafe. But I mean, most of the people are so nice and so just excited to see you. And the people that I'm with are, they're like, "What? This is just Rob."
It's cool though. You gotta admit, it's cool.
It is
right?
cool, but it's so funny is like I feel tongue tied. Like you can tell I'm not a person that has little words, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when people come up to me and they notice me or recognize me, I'm like shell-shocked. I can't really talk. I don't know what exactly to say to them. It's very interesting, that whole turnaround. But I love that I reach these people because of what I do. And that is the most important thing. Because there's people that come up to me and say, "You helped me lose, this so much weight. I was this much, and now I'm, I've lost 50 pounds because of watching your videos, and you really helped motivate me." And that is like, okay, so that makes what I do worth doing, because I'm helping people. And I think that was my whole goal into ever making a YouTube channel, is that I always just wanted to help people be a better version of themselves. Or if not, just give them something to laugh about when they're having like a bad day. And so I think that's what stems from the tips and the comedy, is that I just wanted to help people in any way that I could, because that's just the kind of person I'm like, that's just the kind of person I am. I'm just like a helper. Look at me boosting up my ego. I'm not saying that egotistically. I'm just saying that in a very sincere way, that I really do like to help. I'm a helper. Sometimes I overstep. You could ask probably all of my ex-boyfriends. They know that I overstep. And they're like, "Please, Rob, I don't need your advice." But that's just how I feel. I always want to help people to deter from just having the life experience and helping them, grow from their mistakes or not make the mistakes I made.
Well, that's incredible, and that's great, and that's very important and needed. It's definitely needed, especially nowadays. And
and in such a world, we are so separate. I think if I can do one thing that brings people a little commonality, come together, I think that's my purpose. Because I think we're all like, not to get spiritual or anything, but I think we're all kind of here trying to find our reason for being here, or our purpose in life, and you have a calling just like I have a calling, just like maybe someone who works here has a call. Everyone has a calling for something that's going to help to build something bigger. And I just want to make sure I'm doing the contributions I need to do now, so that in the afterlife I have a good life,
I like that. Yeah, definitely. I wanted to ask you about your dancing. So you do a lot of these great tips for health and wellness.
Yeah.
and all that stuff. But you also dance.
Yes,
and
I do.
And you're a great dancer.
Thank you.
So tell us about that. Like, how did that come about?
The funny thing is like I never really wanted to incorporate my dance or fitness into my channel because I thought that was just like separate Rob. Like that was my day job, and then my other job was YouTube and making people laugh. But then when you start to actually say, oh wait, the two kind of merge on YouTube, you know, you really do have to get personal and do what you do best. So what I do best is diets, fitness, tips, and dance. And that's what I used to do before YouTube. I still am a professional dancer. I worked as an actor, dancer, singer. I did off-Broadway stuff. I toured around the United States. I never made it to Broadway because I wasn't that good. I mean, I was good, but I just never really wanted to do it. You know, you get tired after a while. But that's what I did for... Oh, geez. Since I was before college, I was doing professional things. And then after college, I was doing professional things. And I just really stuck with it. But it turned into me doing choreography for like upcoming groups, doing performances, competing in shows and things like that. But now mainly what I do dance, I do hip hop and I do a class called Heels. I mainly just teach. I teach 2 classes a week because I just love doing it. It's not really even about the money. It's just about that I love doing it because YouTube is really my full-time job. Mm-hmm. But I love teaching and I love the fact that I get to talk and communicate with people every day, and it's almost like being on a little stage when you're helping people in front of and I'm also helping. So I'm doing 2 things. I'm entertaining and I'm helping and creating some kind of cool dance that everyone's enjoying, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I do. The funny thing is like I started doing hip hop forever. I danced hip hop since I was little. And that was just kind of, I never was trained. I never went to school for it. I just went to school for acting, not for dance. Uh-huh. And dance was what my career ended up being for a very long time, which was very odd, you know? It was like a passion. It was like a hobby, not a real job, but it ended up being a real job. And then that opened a lot of doors for other opportunities. And then recently I decided, hey, why don't I do the Giannis Marshall route? You know who that is, right? Or no? Heels guy. He wears all heels and he dances. He's
yes. I think I've seen some of his stuff, yeah.
And, you know, I was always a little scared to do that because, you know, being already a gay male and in this world and effeminate, like, you just kind of want to deter away from that in the entertainment business, at least, you know, because people are going to say, you're never going to make it being that gay, you know what I mean? So I always used hip hop as a way to like masculinize myself, if that's even a word. But recently being more comfortable in my skin and just not really caring about what people have to say, I tried heels and I fell in love with it. And I started this class that everyone doubted that would be a success. Even people who worked in the studio, they're like, this is never gonna work. It's like slutty and scandalous. But it grew, and it got better and better, and more people started coming. And then just recently, I was invited to perform and be a guest artist on Kelly Clarkson's at Kelly Clarkson's concert.
Yes.
In heels, which is so cool. I was like, whoa! It started as that just shows you anything you do that starts out as a small idea can just gravitate into something bigger than you ever thought.
That's amazing. We were actually going to segue into that.
Oh, you were?
How was it working with Kelly Clarkson?
Kelly Clarkson is a dream and a doll, and she is another person. Is what you see is what you get. She's so sweet, very accommodating. When she first met me, I mean, it just felt like I was talking to any regular friend that I have. And she even was like, I really like you. You're really cool. Like, and she was really excited about me being there. And that's what made me feel even more like this is meant to be, you know? Being on stage was cool. I was very, very nervous, but no one could tell, hopefully. It was a little, in those kind of situations, things are happening very fast behind the scenes. So I wasn't really exactly sure what I was going to do when I got on stage. And luckily, I just kind of took a breath, went out there and just like sassed it up. I said, I need to get this audience on my side as soon as I go out there. I walked out there, I did a little struck a pose, and it was all downhill from there.
Is there any way we could watch it here? Is it on YouTube or not?
It's on her Facebook. I don't know if you can watch it.
Is it public or
it's
private?
Public. Yeah.
All right, so you keep talking. I'll try to find it.
Okay. Yeah, so I went out there and just she asked me a couple questions. That was the whole thing. It was supposed to be like an interview. And then it turned into me teaching her how to dance on stage, which was so cool. And she really loved it. We had a great time. And people were like, oh, you look like you guys have been friends for years. And I was like, that's because I'm a professional. But seriously, she was just really cool and just made me feel super duper confident and comfortable on stage. And yeah, so I just taught her that, and hopefully, I know she's coming out with a television show in the fall, and she was kind of mentioning that she wanted me to maybe come back and maybe do some tutorials for her guests and stuff. So if that happens, it happens. If not, I'm very happy for the opportunity that I had, and I'm just, moving forward with everything.
Awesome. And just look at this. She plays your video on the big screen.
Yes!
Look at that, dude. That is so cool.
Yeah, it was so cool.
And that's your class right there.
That's my class. They all were super excited about like being featured.
That is amazing.
Yeah, we had a good time. And then later on, I show her how to dance and stuff. And
that is so cool.
Yeah, she's super cool. Originally I was supposed to actually dance on stage, and we just talked so much we ran out of time.
Yeah, look at that. She called you up on stage.
Yeah. Look at this is me walking in. I said I need to do something. This makes me cringe a little bit.
I love it.
You could see I'm like sweating right now. You like my?
You have to be like my dance instructor, Kelly Clarkson.
Ah, see?
You should.
I'm gonna be the
Kelly, you should.
Instructor. Okay, can we pause for a second?
Of course, yeah.
Can I just spill a little tea right here? I mean, it's nothing like big or anything. But when I went on stage, I don't know if you ever been on stage in like an arena, right? Mm-hmm. I've been on stage for like stages, like actual theaters, but not an arena. This is my first time, and it's crazy. There was like thousands and thousands of people. So I got on stage, and she starts talking, right? And I can't hear her, and she's standing right next to me.
Oh, man.
So if you see my face, I'm kind of smiling and playing it off like I can hear her, but I'm hearing da-da-da-da-da dance instructor, da-da-da-da-da Martha Stewart, da-da-da-da-da my show. I was like, yeah, just nodding. So it took me a while to like get my ears adjusted because you could see she has ears.
Look.
Yes, you could see my face.
You're like, I'm just gonna laugh and smile at
Yes. So this is where I was like, oh wait, this is a question I know.
Yeah.
I love my Miss America speech.
Yeah. You're so good on stage.
Thank you.
Amazing. And it's
oh my God, I was so nervous. You don't even know.
Awesome. That's
I literally had like a meltdown before I went on stage. I had to bring myself back to life.
You can never tell. You can never tell. You look like you owned it.
Well, you know what? I think that's life experience. You know what I mean? I think from years of doing this and training in the arts and being on stage and being an actor and living that life, you're just like, you know what? You're ready for it. By that time, you're like, I've been through everything and worse. So what is the worst thing? The thing I was most scared of is just falling in my heels. Basically.
But you didn't.
No,
and that's awesome. And hopefully she brings you back.
I know, bring me back.
Like that was a highlight. Like
I just want to say for the record, I loved working with the production, and everyone backstage was really cool. So I'd love to work with you guys again.
It was awesome. I mean, it's huge, and I hope and wish more things like this.
Look at that cheesy smile.
I know. You're so happy, but that's good, man.
It was a lot of fun, and it was.
We just want happiness, man.
Yeah,
it's good to see that.
And even at the end of it, she says, I really commend you for what you do, because in a world we are so separate, you're being inclusive, and that's what we need. And that made me feel like, again, this is where I'm meant to be. This is all happening because this is the road I'm meant to touch people in a way that maybe someone else can't. Not touch them like,
Oh, yeah, you have to be clear now. Nowadays, you have to be very clear.
Not inappropriately, but touch them in a spiritual way. But it was cool, even after the show was over, people were asking to take pictures with me and asking me for my autographs. And it was people of all different genders and sexualities. And I really felt their, like, thankfulness. They were like, thank you for doing that. Thank you for standing up there and being a good example, and not spreading ignorance, but spreading inclusiveness. And that's what really touched me. I was like, I can't talk anymore. I'm going to cry.
There you go, man. Your videos
know?
are so awesome. You got, the right people saw it and they saw that there was something in there.
Yeah,
and you had something.
And you know what it is too? It's like a lot of cool things are happening this year. Even for you, I see like really cool things,
Thanks.
And I think it's because we're at a point where we are just letting the good energy in. And I really am like, I'm not like a hippie or anything, I swear, but I do really feel like good spirituality, no matter what your religion is or how you feel spiritual, I feel just having that good energy and putting that good energy out there is always going to come back to you. I mean, I've learned the hard way of like talking bad about people and all of that comes from insecurity, and you're just when you're talking bad about someone, your body doesn't know that you're talking bad about someone else. It feels that pain in your body, and you're taking that internally. So if I have a problem with someone, I've learned to like just let it go.
That's good.
And not harbor it and not harbor like bad feelings. And so I think as you get older, and you know this, as we get older, we have less patience for the things that we don't care about. Yeah. And I think I'm just at that point where I just don't care about the things I don't care about. And the things I care about, that's where I'm going to put my energy. And I think that's the secret to life. That is the secret.
Oh, yeah.
People need to believe, put it out there, and put the work in. You can't just believe and put it out there and not put the work in. You need to believe, do something every day that's going to bring you closer to that goal. And it'll come to you. It does. And I'm a true believer. And I think this year is going to be not just great for us, but great for everyone out there, because it's a good year. I think it's a good year.
Inshallah. I mean, I feel the same too, and I'm just knock on wood.
Yeah,
for all of us.
You don't need to knock on wood. Just it's happening. It's happening now. We're in the moment. Like we've met for a reason. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
right. That's right.
When I met you, I didn't know who you were. I've never seen some of your stuff. I just knew there was something about you that was engaging and special. And I was like, this is someone that I would like to just befriend. And I didn't even know what you did on YouTube or that you were like 1 million subscribers in. I was like, I cannot even believe I was talking to this guy. He's like way out of my league. But
oh God.
Well, not in that sense, but but yeah, since then, I feel like, we've established like a good relationship and good energy, and we vibe off of that. And I think that helps us with our other projects and stuff.
And it's cool, and you're right, and I'm happy to happen, and that's the thing, and I love your energy, man, because this is what I've been telling my viewers and been telling my friends. Surround yourself with people who have great energy.
Yes.
Because that is the most important thing. It helps you, and especially in our age, it's like, you need that. You don't have time for just constant negativity and constant worry about things that you have no control over.
Like just in the break room, to spill a little tea, in the break room, I heard people talking about someone else in the building, and they were kind of bad-mouthing them. And I was just like, oh, it's so negative.
Yeah.
Like, why? And it's just like, it was a constant conversation. It wasn't like just like, oh, this guy and da-da-da-da and whatever. It was like a constant conversation. And it started to make me feel with the bad energy, and I was just like, block it out, let it go. Yeah, and it was just like, I just wish people would see that to build yourself up, you don't have to knock someone else down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. It's fear and it's the insecurity that people.
But also be strong, because somebody will be prepared to knock you down.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you only, how comments can be and how vicious and the bigger you get, the more people come to hate. And I've been knocked down a million times. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've let comments in the past affect me and the way people view me affect me. But now I'm like, I don't care.
That's
like,
good. I mean,
I'd rather you come and give me hate because you're giving me view and you're giving me notoriety, because I must be doing something right. If to bring you. Like, there's someone who just came to my page today. I think they said something like, and I laugh at these comments because I think they're funny now. They're like, oh, I couldn't stand him. He's so gay and da-da-da. I said, but he's like, I had to leave the video. I had to stop the video right away. But you had enough time to actually go in the comment section, leave a full paragraph of how you felt.
Thank you.
I'm like, when I don't like something, I just leave.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I don't
man.
have the time to waste and say I don't like this and he's an ass and da da da. I don't have the time for that.
Most of the time, those people are people who want to be like you.
Who can never do what you
Yeah,
do.
they want something from you. Believe me, if people don't care, they'll just bounce. They wouldn't take the time to write and try to
Yeah.
affect you. So you're right. So speaking of that, we're going to go into the final topic here.
Yeah.
About you being part of the LGBTQ community,
Yes.
LGBTQ plus.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, how do you feel it's like, especially in social media, the YouTube platform, and in that whole world? I mean, I would imagine, well, obviously back then it was tough. Compared to now, do you feel it's changed or it's still the same?
It's getting better, is
Okay.
what I'll say. Is it perfect? No. I mean, is it a world that I want my? Well, I don't know if I'm gonna have kids, but is it a future world that I want to see for future children? No, and I know that'll get better in time. You know, it was tough being a part. Being gay and being so present online, especially when I started. I started in 2011. So that's when I started, all the YouTube personality stuff. And I really tried to not be gay because I wanted to veer away from just being a topic. I didn't want that to ever really be a topic. I wanted my words to be what the focus was on. So that was tough, but I think through the years I found even the meanest comments, I found them helpful, because I started to look at the comments and I started to look at myself and say, no, I love myself and I'm proud to be who I am, and I don't need to hide the fact that I'm gay. And just because the inflections in my voice give it away doesn't give you the right to be like, you're gay and this is gay, come at you in that way. Yeah. You're Arabic. I mean, great. Thanks for letting me know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like stupid.
Yeah.
But you realize who it's coming from, and a lot of it is coming from younger kids who are ignorant or maybe curious about the topic or just don't understand it or getting bullied themselves. And you start to have more sympathy for people who leave mean comments rather than hatred. And I feel like that has helped me get through the meanest comments and the meanest times on YouTube and be able to really just focus on, let me set an example of a gay guy on YouTube who actually has something to say and real advice and talent, and let the haters pass me by, because I'm only going to, the cream rises to the top. And eventually I'm going to rise to the top, and I'm going to be that representative for that little boy or little girl or transgender or whoever person who needs me in that moment. And hopefully me being proud of who I am and not stepping down and trying to disclose who I am is going to help someone else rise above that too. So that's the important part of being part of this community, in any community, and being part of the Muslim community, being part of any community on YouTube. That's the most important part, to rise above that and show a good example of what we can be to help those people who are watching us. And that's the thing. And that's the thing, like, people who do have hatred and racism and all this hatred inside of them, they don't want to see you rise up. They want to bash you down, so your voice is silenced. But if you rise above that and say, I'm not going to be silenced and I'm going to be the gayest, well, I'm not that gay. I am gay, but I'm not that gay. That's the funniest thing, too.
Right,
People are like, you're so, and with all the O's, so gay. And you're like, wait a minute. I mean, I know I'm gay, and I know you could tell I'm gay, but I'm not the gayest person on YouTube, just saying. But but does it bother me? No. Hey, I'll be gay. I'll be that one. If that's the way you want to see me, I'll be that. But I know that every word I say and everything I do is to help people, and that's never going to be silenced just because you don't like me. So that's how I deal with it.
You know, I have to give it to my mom. She grew me up. My mom and my dad, they raised me in a household that was very accepting, and she would tell me to love everyone and appreciate everyone.
You have good parents.
Thank you. And then she would always tell me, like, the gay people in her life, they've always been loving, caring, and understanding. And that translated with me, because I don't know if you know this, she she had to tell me this because I myself was homophobic growing up because of the people around me in high school and school.
Yeah, of course.
So they would all be very aggressive towards gay people, and
Yeah,
I myself.
and you just want to fit in too.
Yeah.
You know?
And I regret that, and I talked about it and made a video about it and everything like that. And it got pretty violent and like, you know, a fight here and there. Don't want to get too deep into it because I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, no, okay.
But I had that background. I had that, and I regretted it. It was something that I'm not proud of, and I'm glad I moved away from it. One of the biggest things that really helped me understand it too was going into high school, right? Because this was middle school. Going into high school, I started experiencing people showing me hate because they thought I was gay.
Oh, wow.
And that's why I have like a huge connection with gay people, because I was on that end of being picked on.
And of course, because you were being picked on, that's what made you kind of build a hatred towards it, because you're like, I don't want to be categorized. I don't want to be different. You just want to fit in high school.
Exactly.
You know?
So they would always be like, oh, you're gay. You're fucking gay. And I was like, why do you think? It's like, because you're so organized. You're so clean. Everything, blah, blah, blah.
And you were like a theater kid too, right?
Yeah, and I was a theater kid. Everybody right there. My best friend, who was really helpful, he was gay too. And, he was so nice to me. So just going through that, it was just kind of like, it was so confusing, man. At that young age, it's like, why are people treating me like this? You know, I'm not gay, and then I started developing this attitude, and even with a girl, like you know, I was very reserved when it came to dating. You know, I wanted to take it slow with this girl, and then when I told her no, I don't want to have sex yet, I want to just kind of wait. She started like just blasting me, like,
saying
you're
that
gay.
you're gay because you don't have sex.
Yeah.
Oh God,
you're so gay. Like we knew it. You're gay all along. And then she told her brother, and then they started spreading it around. So it was just bad. It was just really bad.
Where was this? In New York?
Yeah, I grew up. I was born and raised in New York.
Where in New York? In New York City or
Queens.
Queens.
My high school was aviation.
Okay.
And then middle school was ICE 125.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then it was just rough, and then especially coming in from,
you're in a rough neighborhood. I
Yeah.
mean, that's rough. It's a rough neighborhood.
Yeah, and then coming in from what is it called? Public school. Like when I first started, with the teachers there that were racist. They did blackface. You know, they would put makeup on us. And,
Really?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Wow.
I
that
mean,
was also a different time too.
it was definitely a different time, and I sensed it from my teachers. I remember, I actually never shared this with anyone. My favorite teacher, her name was Miss Hartglass. Right, she was a lovely teacher, and I loved being in her class. And I was always getting picked on by her substitute teacher. And I don't know, they would always try to find something in me that wasn't good. So they're like, hey, write your name. And I was like so nervous. So I wrote my name incorrectly. She's like, he can't even spell his name. Why do we have him in this classroom? He needs to be sent to another room. And then after that, I found out they were transferring me to another class. And I started crying because I was a young kid. I was crying, and I didn't want to leave Miss Hartglass because she was like a mother to me. And they put me in like some other kid with all of these colored kids. And it was like just from different
races and
stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it at the time.
Oh, they were segregating you.
I didn't understand it at the time, and I thought it was just maybe because I'm dumb. You know, that's what I thought. I thought I was dumb. How can you not know how to spell your name? That's what I thought. But I knew how to spell my name. I just fucked it up. I just messed it up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because I was so nervous. You
Yeah.
just like breathing down my neck. Spell
Yeah.
your name right now. Write your name right here. Like everybody's writing down their names and stuff.
Wow.
So after
You wouldn't
that,
think that something like that would happen, even like that. And even in our time going to school, you wouldn't think that would happen.
Yeah, and then it got worse because then I had Miss Sun, who was an Asian teacher, and she was trying to fit in. I had her for both first grade and second grade, and she would always pick on me too.
Wow.
So I remember this moment. It was stupid. A friend of mine, he gave me his like magic markers. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
It was so cool. I always wanted one. My parents couldn't afford it, so they wouldn't like really buy me stuff like that. Only buy me essentials. So he's like, hey, you can have it for free. So my dumbass self was so excited to have it. So I put it on my head and put my hat on it because I wanted to feel like it's there. I don't know. It's weird. I had like a beanie.
It's okay.
And then it was just like lobbing in my head so I could feel like it's there. Like, oh, this is cool. I have a gift, you know?
Yeah.
And then the teacher's like, what is that? And then I was like, oh, it's markers. My, you know, I don't know. I'm going to call him Tony. Tony gave it to me for free. She's like, he did? And he's like, I was like, yeah, he gave it to me. And she's like, all right, let me call Tony. She didn't believe me. She thought I stole it. She's like, Tony, you gave this to him, right? He's like, yeah, he can have it. And she's like, and then she looked back at me. She's like, are you sure he could have it?
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, he's like, yeah, I don't want it. And she's like, okay, well, take it back and ask your mom, and then come back tomorrow and see if he could have it. I was like, what the hell? Like, it was crazy. And then finally, that was Miss Sun. Like, she was ridiculous. I had her for two straight, like, first grade and second grade. I don't know what the hell she's doing. Then Miss Albany. And I remember all these, and I'm
love that you're just shouting their names out.
I'm making a video about this. Miss Albany, like we had like a
just blowing up. Yeah, I hope you don't get sued.
No, we're not gonna get sued because this is true. It's all true, and I'll take the front end of it. Miss Albany, she found a reason that I was like, she made up some reason. We had an event like where we could go into a science class and then buy stuff. They were like selling stuff.
Yeah. We used to have that too, like a little fair.
Yeah. A fair. Yeah. So I don't know. She blamed me for something that I did not do, and she's like, "You're staying outside here. You're not coming inside with us." So then I was standing out there, and I swear to you, she let me stand there for the whole event, and I was literally crying. And then some other teacher came, and she's like, "What's going on? Like, why are you crying? What's going on?" I was like, "I don't know. She doesn't want me to go inside, and I really want to buy some stuff." Like, man, this makes me so fucking emotional. And she went to her, and she's like, "Why are you not letting him in?" She's like, "No, he did something really bad." And she's like, "What did he do?" She's like, "I don't want to talk about it right now." And then she went back inside again, and then boom, I was waiting outside like a little dog, and I missed out on the whole fair. And then we had Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns did the same exact thing to me. He let me stand outside after class, still waiting with him while he's talking to some other female teacher.
Wow. And what did your parents do?
I never told my parents.
Oh my God. I wish you would have.
I thought it was normal. And then he's like, "Oh, you're still here. I forgot. You're still here. You know what? It's okay. Just go. Just leave." Wow. And he I was there, and I
racism
left,
at its best.
Yeah, and I left alone. And then finally, Mr. Peter McNally, the principal of PS 229, he accused me of something that I did not do in that school. Somebody wrote something racist on the thing, and the kid was walking with him, and I was on the line and I saw it. And he wrote some nasty racist thing on the little stone, and he was right next to him, and he didn't see it. And then as he was coming back, some teachers like, "What is this? Who wrote this?" And then they all pointed at me. And he's like, "I know it's you. You wrote this. You're coming upstairs to the office with me right now." Went to the office, and then they grilled me. Miss Sun was there, and Mr. McNally was there, and they're all looking at me, and they told me, like, "Did you write that thing here?" And I was like, "No, I didn't. I swear I didn't." And then he came close to me. He's like, "I'm going to ask you again. Did you write that on this stone?" And I got so scared, and I swear, like, just out of the fear, I was like, "Yes," because I wanted it to end. I was like, "Yes, I wrote that." And that's it.
Wow.
And then I got kicked out of the school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they wanted.
Yeah, it was
so
pretty
sad.
Bad. So then, going from that and then getting picked on for people thinking I'm gay, it was just ridiculous. And that's why I have a really close affinity with people who are different. Yeah. That's why I feel for them. That's why, in my faith and my religion, of course, in religion, it's wrong to be this, it's wrong to be that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Yeah. Like, how do you feel about how gay Muslim people are treated? Because that is like a huge issue, I'd imagine.
It is.
With
actually,
any religion, it really is.
Yeah, but recently it's getting a lot of popularity for Islam because there was a recent video that came out of a Muslim man who still claims he is Muslim and he wants to continue being Muslim, but he's also saying he's gay.
Yeah, and they're like, you can't be gay and
yeah,
be Muslim.
And who are you to say that? Yeah. Like, that's the thing that pisses me off. Like, that's God's choice. That's between him and God. If he wants to continue being Muslim and following the Islamic values, okay, let him do that. But just because he's saying that he's also gay, you can't take that away from him. Yeah. And that's something that's really important right now and something I'm bringing out for people because he was so reserved and he was like, his parents accept him, why can't you guys accept me? Like, I still, that's just the culture. People grew up in this religion and why can't he stay with it?
Yeah.
It's something that's so important because the girl was so nasty to him and she's like, it's either one thing or the other. No, you can't say that because we don't know how you live your life. We don't know what you're hiding, and people could simply say what you're wearing is worn incorrectly. Like some girls, how they wear their shoes and hijabi, like covering, some people wear it wrong, you know, but it's like, yeah, but just because it's okay with you, it can't be okay with his lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I feel very strongly about that. And sometimes people are like, oh, don't bring it up. It's hard, it's tough, but sometimes I have to talk about it because I have friends who are Muslim and gay, and they don't want to bring it out. They don't want to talk about it. And it's sad. Imagine living your life like not being who you are until the day you die.
That's not a way to live.
Yeah.
And you're not going to live a fulfilled life.
Yeah.
If you're hiding who you are. Yeah. Did you know that there is the first Muslim gay drag queen on
You told me
Drag
about that,
Race.
but I don't know about that. So tell me about that.
Yeah, there's they have a new season of RuPaul's Drag Race. If you don't watch, every Thursday night, maybe I'll be on it one day.
That would be cool.
I know, I don't think I would be. That is some craziness I don't know if I can handle. And plus, I'm not a drag queen. I'm terrible with makeup. But yeah, they had their very first out of 11 seasons of it. I mean, maybe more. I think it's an 11th season. And then they had like 4 or 5 seasons of like all-star ones.
Mm-hmm.
And they've never had one openly gay Muslim drag queen. And this is the very first one. So it's a pretty big deal for her.
That is huge. I got to look
Yeah,
into
and
that.
there's a lot of pressure on her shoulders. I guess her as a drag queen. On the show, and you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see that she's very reserved in speaking and being vocal even about her religion. Like the last episode, they were saying, well, how does that work? Like, how does your religion work? Do you go to church or what kind of... They were just asking simple questions, and she shut down. She's like, I don't really want to talk about that, da-da-da. And like, you could see it, how it really has affected her. And it's become more of a personal thing where it's almost like shameful that she is feeling like exposed almost.
Yeah.
But I think that what she doesn't understand is, and her name's Mercedes, I think what she doesn't understand is that other Muslim kids that are gay, transgender, bisexual, whatever they are going to look to her and say, wow, she's a good person and she's representing a gay Muslim, and if she can do it, I can be that. And I think it's just the presence of having someone like that represent, I think, is just she doesn't know how much that's going to help someone else in the end until this whole thing's over, you know? So
it's huge.
I say keep going, Mercedes.
Yes, I support you too.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly just love seeing things like this, man. Because, you know, look, right here, man, we have someone who's absolutely incredible
Thank
and
you.
wonderful. And I think the energy that you share and the positivity that I mean, I feel like I'm selfish because, like, I love taking all that energy from you.
No, I don't
It's
mind
an
it.
amazing, beautiful thing. And that's why I always preach loving every single person and accepting every single one. Forget about the faith and religion and all that stuff and what it says in there because, you know, we don't follow everything. I mean, like, slavery was okay in religion back in the day.
Yeah.
But we don't
So-
do that now, do we?
But
so,
we have to grow with the times
Yeah.
and understand that the way people thought back then and the rules and stuff that they've made were all based out of fear.
Yeah.
I think if we're more open and not so fearful of each other, I think we can grow together and less
advance.
ignorant.
That's right, yeah. Hey, Robert, this was amazing.
Thank
you so much for
you.
being a part of my
I had
show.
so much fun.
I hope you come again.
I
And
definitely will.
keep us updated with all your new successes and new works that are coming through. And for the people who want to follow you and check you out, just be sure to tell them your socials.
Oh, it's on the cheap tip everything. Instagram, Twitter, especially YouTube, because that's where I make my money. So my coin's on YouTube, so go visit me there. But no, for real, if you like fitness and diets and just seeing someone regular, just have, experiment with things, come on over and check me out.
Yes, please do that. And again, thank you, Robert. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.